Last year, my garden kind of exploded. I guess the weather and conditions were just right for all my herbs and vegetables. Even my rose bush bloomed. It had been cut down and dead for a few years, but after some TLC and some persistence on my part, it came back to life for me. This was around the end of June, so some of the flowers had started to die off. And then I had the thought, why not try to make some ink? I've seen some people make ink out of forged plants before, so how hard could it be? Wash out all the boogies and debris, and soak them for a bit, just in case. Line them up very cutely, single file. I love how they look like little fairy dresses. It's like a ballet. Since I just called them fairies, I feel kind of bad taking the petals off now. You'll forgive me, right, little guys? Now we add alcohol and a bit of vinegar to preserve the color. Then we gingerly add the petals into the spa bath. As you can see, the petals are getting paler while they're being soaked in the bath. You can see that the color is seeping right into the mix. The color's so pretty. Squeeze out the remaining liquid from the petals. The little fairy is now pulp. Dun, 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 dun. Now it's time for me to show off my mundane superpower. I can accurately eyeball what is gonna fit into a container. Perfect. And there we go! We have some ink we made out of roses. Now I guess all that's left to do is to test it out and see how it looks. Initially laying down some of the ink color, I can see that it's very watery, so I assume I did not put enough petals for pigment, and it's quite light and not as vibrant as it looks in the jar, so that's interesting. Huh, it looks as though it's not holding much pigment of the actual rose at all. Or maybe oxidizing it is turning it a bit brown. But this was an experiment at the end of the day, so I'm not too picky on how it's gonna result into. It's more just for fun. There also seem to be these little black bits in the ink. I had cleaned the petals properly and dried them out, so I'm unsure what they would be. Maybe I didn't clean them enough. Actually, I did try to make different inks before. I had forged some wild grapes on a walk with my family before, and I don't really remember what the other ones were. I think it was like a currant I also tried, where I just kind of smushed them and then added vinegar and alcohol to it to try and preserve the color. I don't think that's initially actually how you make ink, but I saw a friend do it once and I didn't bother to look further into it. So this is just me trying and experimenting just based off my own knowledge and stuff that I can assume. I am by no means a professional at this. I just really love the roses that I grow, and I'm so happy that the bush that I grew actually came back to life after a few years of being dormant. So I wanted to try and make something beautiful and not let the petals go to waste because they were a bit too dingy to make jam or to eat from. So it's in my way. I'm trying to preserve something beautiful, but if it doesn't turn out, I really don't mind. And there's our final result. It looks beautiful in the bottle in my opinion, but the pigment doesn't necessarily carry over to paper, so I'm not 100% happy, but I enjoyed the process anyway, so I guess you could say that the end product doesn't really matter as long as you had fun. Thanks so much for joining me through this process. I guess we learned, first of all, to look up an actual tutorial or recipe on how to make ink if you want to make ink as vibrant as you can buy in the store, and that process sometimes matters more than the end product. Also, that roses are very lovely and we should all appreciate the flowers we have. Oh, okay. This is interesting. It looks as if the red ink I made dried into a greeny brown color. I wonder if the alcohol I used changed the chemicals in some way, or if it's just kind of like the natural process of flowers browning. Either way, this is a very interesting thing to come to the next day. I'm hard-pressed to call it ink now, but the result was full of surprises. I hope you enjoyed watching the process of me experimenting with some flowers. I had a lovely time filming and editing. Thanks so much for watching. And a special thanks to my patrons who give me continuous support and help to motivate me to do more creative stuff like this. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day, guys.